There you go.
It's a perfect day for racing here in Kansas City, Kansas. This state-of-the-art facility has brought NASCAR to the heartland. Although the tri-oval track design is not unique to Kansas, the slight difference in banking makes this track truly different after its reconfiguration in 2011. Hi, folks. Welcome to Race 6 of the Lodgebox series here from Area iRacing. We're live at Kansas for the Twister 200. I'm Ernest Sleppy, and joining me, as always, is executive producer Harold Darner. How's it going?
Well, I didn't know you were going to change the name.
Oh, I didn't tell you the name of it.
It says so. I got Kansas 200 because that's what I saw on the sheet. so we're the Kansas Twister 200 today. Okay, that'll work. Man, doing pretty good, man. 1.5 mile track, pretty wide. Tuesday night we had a great race, great finish. Monday night you and I called and we saw early cautions, but long in both Monday night and Tuesday night. We had long green flag runs, green flag pit stops. So
yeah, Monday night had quite a few early cautions. I think we had 4 cautions in that entire race, and they all came early. But we ended it with a green flag run to the finish. We had some green flag pit stops, and we saw Jake Nichols getting his 3rd win on the season. Tuesday night, I couldn't watch much of it because I was at my other job, but it looked like a lot of fun. A last lap pass for the win, lots of wrecking, but lots of close, hard racing. And Ryan Hart's ended up getting the win there. No, not really sure what we're going to expect tonight. Looking through our practice charts, we are not surprised to see that Alan Elwood and Cameron Hearn 1-2 on the board with the fastest times. I'm a little surprised though. Travis Beckner, not really sure why I'm surprised with him because he had pretty fast speed at Auto Club, but he kept blinking in and out. But he's got a new Ethernet cable, so he won't be blinking. He hasn't been blinking at all since he's got his new Ethernet cable. So hopefully we'll see Travis a little more aggressive because we remember the speed he had at Auto Club, but he couldn't really go at it with the top 3 drivers because he kept blinking in and out. So he had to keep waiting and waiting to stop blinking. But that's not going to be an issue anymore for that 28 car. And then 4th is James Scioli. Now, James Scioli dominated this race last year. I mean, absolutely dominated. We have 130 laps slated tonight, the same as last year's race, and he led 105 of those 130 laps. So an absolutely dominating effort from that 7. Harold, do you think that he has a possibility of going 2 for 2 here?
Oh, I was going to say last week's winner, you got Robertson out there who won in the the Cup car last season on a fuel strategy. So, and then we got Wineland, has been coaching for some people. So if it's going to be fuel and tires, he's going to have to make sure he has the right strategy because a lot of guys been working on strategy in the off season.
Yeah, lots of people have. We're looking here, the fuel run at 65 to 70 laps. The pit road speed staying at 55 miles an hour, but it's under 30 laps, so we could see guys split into thirds or try to make it a one-stop race if they dare try to. So we're looking through here, and the last driver in the top 5 for practice is Chris Seinfeld in the 45, looking to continue that top 5 speed that he's been showing all year long. Now, I've talked with some of the drivers from the Bell Weishart racing team camp, and they're saying that the longer the runs go, the tighter the car will be in the center, and the looser it'll be on corner exits. So looking for, say if we get around 40 to 50 laps in a run, the longer the run goes, the more the tires wear. We'll start to see some drivers get a little more loose off the exits of turn 2 and turn 4. Kind of like what we saw at Dover last week with drivers washing up the track, although that's completely different because Dover's got that big bump right on the exit of the corners. But then again, turn 2 and turn 4 exits have been a issue in the past. And I remember last season we are back at Charlotte just before the playoffs started. No matter what track we went to, the exits of turn 2 and turn 4 were always the trouble spots for like 4 straight weeks, and we couldn't figure out why. But it might happen again tonight. that we could see those issues coming back into those two turns. And speaking of turns, we got to figure out which groove that the drivers will be racing in. If it's the high, the middle, or the low groove. Monday night, we saw that the top groove was key. If you weren't running the top, you're going in the sucker hole. Tuesday night, Harold, did they race similar on Monday night? Because I really couldn't get a good look at the race.
Tuesday night they were everywhere. I mean, they were there were some guys that were sticking the bottom. There were guys sticking the middle. There were guys on the top side. There were guys that went mid to low, low to mid, low to high. It's like they were searching all over the track for speed, and they were able to find it. Trucks, though, they have low horsepower, so they were pretty much able to flat foot it for the most part around this racetrack. Not going to be able to do that with the Xfinity cars. I expect to see them maybe too wide, but they're going to be mid and high groove.
Mid and high groove. That's kind of what we're seeing now with some of the lines being taken in practice. Really, the only one I've seen go towards the middle-ish part of the racetrack would be Ed Robertson there.
But
so we start to go on.
I was going to say, we have our points to go over.
Yep, we absolutely do. So this is your playoff picture going into week number 6. This is after week 5. So Shane Therian, Alan Elwood, Cameron Hearn, and Ed Robertson all locked in to the playoffs. Then we got Colin Fambrough, Richard Thomas, Davey Hendricks, Bryce Senesac, James Scioli, and Garrett Green in the top 10. The final 2 spots being Kyle Knapp and Travis Beckner, plus 9 to the good. Or is that 8? I think it's 8.
It's hard for me to read, too. I think it's 9. 9. It's a 9.
Yep, it is 9 points to the good for Beckner, and Rick Christensen 9 points out. Forrest Smith 10 points out, and Ed Moore Sr. 15 out, with anywhere being 20 points out. Now I'm looking here, Carter Coop. I don't see him on the playoff picture, but he made up 6 spots last week at Dover, so really good run there for Carter Coop. And looking, he is currently 21st on the practice chart, but practice could be one thing, qualifying could be another, and race trim could be a completely different one.
Yep.
Then we got to go over the team points, which currently Elwood Design Esports is running away with it at 435, a much larger gap over Bell Weishart Esports at 382, Elite Entertainment 329, and Transcendent Motorsports there 287. And you got to look at who Elwood Design Esports has. Obviously, Alan Elwood, one of the top guys in the Xfinity cars for the Lodgebox series this year. Then Davey Hendricks, who was the regular season Cup points champion last season. Then Shane Therian. Shane Therian has had quite a remarkable year to begin it. Really has shown, hey, I got race winning speed. Last season's win was not a fluke. I'm here, and I'm here to compete for wins. And then you got to go over to Richard Thomas, and the one had a rough go last week at Dover, but looking to get a nice rebound here, and he is 12th quickest in our practice chart.
All right, so that's pretty much everybody. And so we were talking about last week's winner, and I actually have something to show people. What do you think? We go to pause for station identification. What do you think, Hunter?
I think we should do it.
This is Ed Robertson driving the number 64 Ford CNC logging machine for Elite Entertainment Racing. You're watching One to Go Studios. We'll see you at the next turn. Yeah.
And that was Mr. Ed Robertson, the Muffin Man on Drury Lane, and we met him at the Dover Monster Mile. Right there in front of the miles, you heard in the background was trackside. It was really cool to actually meet one of the drivers in person. And Hunter, we still got to get with you one of these days. And we got that. We need a Wawa sandwich. We'll go through Philadelphia. We'll figure out where you're at.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck trying to do that. We'll say
there's only like 60 of them. We'll just we'll just go one.
Yeah. They don't have any plastic bags though, so you'll have to carry it. Or
yeah, they don't have them in Delaware either.
Or Jersey. I would say they did that in Jersey too. But I'll be in Pocono. That's a fact. I'll be up there in the Pocono pine trees, watching the ARCA race, because I was looking through $10 to go to an ARCA race at Pocono versus almost $30 for that ARCA race down at Dover. I'm like, I've been to Pocono. I'll go to Dover next year. Plus, I'm saving money.
Oh,
Besides, it's going in my gas tank anyway.
that's true, dude. All right, so we're about finishing Kansas's practice here. It looks like Elwood, Hearn, Beckner, Scioli, and Seidenfaden. So not really a lot of changes in the top leaders.
One change I will be hoping to see for Cameron Hearn. Last 3 weeks, he's been in some sort of entanglement with a lap car. Hoping to see that come to an end here at Kansas, because it's happened the last 3 weeks, and if it happens tonight, I'll be 4 weeks in a row. And man, Cameron Hearn, he's got to get a good finish. If you're a lap car and you see the 67, move as far away from him as possible. If you got to go to the inside wall on the backstretch, do it. I do not want to see that 67 car getting involved with a lap car.
Well, last night, Cameron Hearn got on pit lane, was bounced.
Huh.
He was coming out of his pits. Another driver coming into the pits. The merge, not merge kind of thing. Had a driver from the outside line cut across his nose and sent him out to the grass and ended his night.
Man, always something. It's got to change. We're looking through here as Ed Robertson goes out to put down a qualifying time. We got, don't know when it'll pop up, but we have the question of the night in order for you guys to get more channel points. Which driver will win tonight's race? We'll be waiting to see those options come up in the chat below. But it's exclamation point bet, the driver's name, and however many channel points you want, anywhere from 5 to 100. And we'll be getting that for you in just a moment as we see Ed Robertson go down and put down a qualifying time. His first, a 31.303. Pretty good for a first lap. We saw lap times in the 30.9s at this track. The track record set by James Scarley at a 30.864 at 174 miles an hour. Yeah, there's no contest yet. We're still waiting to get that in the chat. Richard Thomas goes to the top of the chart there, 31.245, and Ed Robertson beats that time, 31.147. So the top left of your screen, you'll see the names shuffle around throughout the top 10 or so. Then just below the Want to Go logo on the right side, the top right, you'll see the fastest driver flash up to the top of the charts. Here we go. So who will win tonight's race at Kansas? The question was just posted in the chat, so for that one person trying to put it in before the question popped up, now is your chance. Your options tonight are Hearn, Therian, Thomas, Hendricks, Elwood, Fambro, Scioli, Senesac, Robertson, or you can bet the field. So looking through here, Danny Ware is second quickest. If you want to pick him to win, you'd have to put him under the field category. Or Adam Capps. Say Adam Capps wins tonight's race. Or if you want him to win tonight's race, then you could put channel points on that through the field as well. But always double check to make sure that you're spelling the driver's name correct, because some last names are more difficult to spell than others.
You don't say.
They're also more difficult to pronounce too.
Yes, I remember.
I think it's Robertson in the chat. Current pole sitter for the moment. If it's a fuel mileage race, count me in. Yeah, because he won fuel mileage, as you mentioned, Harold. He won here in the Cup Series last season, and then last week at Dover, he wound up winning on fuel mileage as well. There we see Adam Capps go seventh quickest with a 31.336. Still a good bit of drivers who have yet to go out and put up a lap time.
They're waiting for the weather to change, I think.
Yeah, could be. I would say it looks like we got partly cloudy skies over the racetrack.
Showing overcast at this point.
Overcast. Oh, there you go. That's Twister weather, baby.
Yep. The Twister's coming. NEM.
It is called the Twister 200 for a reason, and Travis Beckner's hoping to not be a part of that Twister as he rolls through the turn. And it looks like he'll come off turn 4 and start his, or this will be the end of his first lap. So Travis Beckner, 31.387. That'll be ninth quickest. Boy, really seeing a difference in times, but I think that's just because we haven't seen the fastest guys go out yet. Or the guys that have been up there all week, all season long, like, say, Beckner, Elwood, Hearn, even Therian. Did he go out? I don't think he went out yet.
No, he's out there right now, actually.
Okay.
Sliding through the grass there goes.
Yeah, that will not be an improvement. Even if he did go through the stripe and complete that, I don't think that lap would have counted.
Mhm.
Dom DeLeo in the field tonight. This is something different. I don't believe he's made a Lodgebox start this season. Nonetheless, he is racing in the number 46.
Yep. A Ford.
Yes, a Ford indeed.
Shane
So he'll go
Therian
ninth
second.
quickest. Yep, there we go. Therian P2 with a 1.57. That is literally a 10th off of Ed Robertson's time. Or 100th, excuse me. It's 100th.
Yep.
Math is hard. Numbers are difficult sometimes.
Yeah,
So
Alan
we'll
Elwood
see.
now coming out of the pits.
There he goes. And Dom DeLeo, will he improve on his second lap? Oh, there we go. This is the in-studio shot. New in-studio shot for Alan Elwood.
Going up to the gears on his out lap.
Now he's got paddle shifting on the steering wheel. Some drivers will have an H pattern. Some will have paddle shifting, and it looks like that's what Alan has. So we'll go on board this time by with Alan Elwood and see how he works his way around Kansas.
He's working that high edge. I think this is going to be his warm-up lap, or he's going to try to just get as much into that car as he can, as you hear him all the way around the outside edge, getting those tires warmed up, get the RPMs in it, and then go for the money lap.
Doesn't look like he's turning the steering wheel too much as well, so it looks like he's got good balance there. Oh, might have scraped the wall there. Got a little close to it. 32.683. Don't think that lap time did register, so he might have clipped that wall coming out of turn 4.
Oh, blinked out there. Very concentration. We've seen that a lot out of his teammate, Eric Wineland. So the boss down to get his lap in. That's not his official, but it's 31.11.
There you go. You just went on board with the fastest lap so far in Lodgebox qualifying with a little over 2 minutes remaining. A 31.114 for the 49 of Alan Elwood. Now that's how you do it. You saw it. Now you got to mimic it.
The Hulk on this interstate battery car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see that. It's a different paint scheme there for the 45 of Seinfeld. So he was 5th quickest in our practice session, so we'll see if that speed can transition into his qualifying run. So 16th quickest, 31.593 on his first lap.
Yep. Albany, Indiana. I talked to these guys, David Weishart and a few others that are all in that Louisville metropolitan area that I spent many a year in when I was a youngin'. Very familiar with it.
And that second lap for Seinfeld, P4. Speed moves in, 31.167. So we got 2/10 separating second, third, and fourth. Exactly. A 147, a 157, and a 167. We'll see if the number 7 can put up a 177.
Elwood,
or even better.
300s faster than the rest of the guys.
Oh, all right. 31.131 for James Scioli.
Wow. Do we got a 1-2 out there? Anyone? It's the only one we're missing. You get the
Well-
1-1, 1-3, 1-4, 1-5, 1-6.
I'm going to go ahead and make my pick in the chat. I'm going to put 50 channel points on James Scioli to win.
Okay, so we've already
And-
said that because I went with Ed Robertson and you went with Scioli. So we've already done our picks. So that's pretty easy.
Absolutely. I don't think we'll see anyone else go out there and put up a lap time. There's a handful of drivers that have not put up a lap time. I think that's 8 drivers? Top 20 have put down a lap. Cameron Hearn being the slowest, 32.935. So something not good there in that run for Cameron Hearn. But there's always race time, and we're about to head over to the green flag in just a moment. We'll get you your starting lineup for the Twister 200 here at Kansas. Race 6 of the Lodgebox Series.
Cameron Hearn had an issue with the wall or the track because I saw some of that on his car. All right, grid.
Grid indeed. On the pole, it's going to be the 49 of Alan Elwood and James Scioli on his outside. Row 2, Ed Robertson and Shane Therian. Row 3, Chris Seinfein and Danny Ware. Row 4, Richard Thomas and Garrett Grant. And row 5, Dom DeLeo and Bryce Senesac.
And going on to row number 6, Hendricks and Smith. And then Adam Capps and Dustin Carroll in 7. And then row 8 is Hazard and Beckner. Mr. Christensen and Hudson outside of him in row 9. Cameron Hearn on the outside of Carter Coop in row 10.
Now we'll go to our last 9 drivers. These are the guys that did not put down a qualifying time. So it's Ricky Harden and Colin Fambro, Jose Ruiz and Jordan Martin, AJ Roderick, Andrew Santo, Ed Morris Sr., Christopher Buds, and in the last row, all to himself, Charles Canita. So 29 drivers here for tonight's 130-lap event, the Twister 200. And Andrew Santo making his return after serving his suspension to the Lodgebox Series once again. Hoping to see a good run there for that number 6 car as we await pace car to lead these drivers off pit road and onto the racetrack. I think the driver's got to get his seatbelt in. Pace car driver, that is.
Gotta lock it in, man. Cameron Hearn talking to the drivers, telling them that rain's coming, so we better race like we're only racing halfway.
Imagine if iRacing actually had that.
William Murray had asked Jake Nichols the other day what would he think if they went back and reintroduced the pit crew fumbles that they had in NASCAR 2003. Because in NASCAR 2003, you would get a random issue, like, and the guy would be like, "Oh man, the wrench jammed," and then you would take like another second and a half to get out of your pit lane, out of your box.
Can't imagine seeing that happening in today's world.
Well, today is we're only like, oh darn, we forgot to put the lug on the front left.
Yeah.
It's a race off pit lane with your own car.
We forgot to put the one lug on the tire. The only lug that's supposed to go on.
Exactly. So.
Oh man. Well, we'll try and catch up with the field. I believe they're in 3 and 4 right now.
Yeah, they are.
And so the pace car will make its way down pit road. Got Alan Elwood and James Scioli on the front row, leading the field to the green flag. 130 laps slated for us here tonight at Kansas Speedway. We're underway from the Heartland.
Yes, some small issue with the number 49 car, so I'm going to stay off of him because he's having a little bit of internet issues because that causes my cameras to go crazy. And rather than make you all sick tonight, I'll just stick to somebody else in the front.
Yep, so we're already seeing it. Most people going to the outside. Still got a couple of drivers on the bottom, one of those being Ed Robertson, trying to get in front of Shane Therian for that 3rd spot. The run is too much, though, as Elwood leads the first lap. Although Robertson's still door-to-door with the 38, but cannot find a lane to move up in front of him.
I'm not sure Ed Robertson's looking to. One thing I noticed when we were both working with the General Tire iRacing experience, I noticed that he took a line lower than I did in Dover. I took more of the high and middle groove, and he was middle to low groove. He seems to like it down there.
Yeah, but that was a good shot. As you see a majority of the drivers running that top and getting close to as close to the wall as they can, trying Larson lining it, as I like to say, because you want to get as much of that as possible whenever it's a track such as Kansas, where the top groove is the preferred groove. It's another good one, too. Still some drivers there on the bottom, and Ed Robertson looking like he'll finally give up that. Nope, not give up just yet. Still trying to get around the 38. Seemed like he had an opportunity to get in line there, but he's still putting up a fight with that 38 car.
I think he's just trying to work his car out there. His teammate of Cameron Hearn, I saw him in the back also working the low line.
Yep, and now Robertson does get in line, and the 7 of James Scioli might be making a move to the lead here. He's got a run down on the bottom. Nope, he'll tuck back in line.
I think we'll see a lot of the guys use the banking and come down turn 4 to the inside line if it's open across the stripe like we're doing here, the apron. It's just Scioli looking at that inside that left corner panel.
I'll say that could shake some things up before they get into turn 1. Like, say they move down to the bottom, and the guy on the top, as we see the battle for second go on, say the guy on the top stays there, and he might have a run going into the corner. But we do see a battle now. Therian on the bottom, looking for not only for second, but for the lead as well.
Looking for a two.
He's going to be side by side with Alan Elwood coming off turn 4, but that outside lane just going to be a little too much to overcome.
I think he didn't quite get it. They edged by a nose by Elwood on that corner, but Therian looking real good. Almost got a twofer on that passing there on the low side.
Ooh, he might have it here. Nope. He had the lead for a brief moment, but that outside lane, once again, it's just too strong. You get a good run there in the entry of the corner on the bottom, but that exit, if you want to be on the top. And he's slid up a little too much that time, Therian did, so he'll lose second to Scioli. Robertson now going to look to the outside for third. Meanwhile, in the back, you got Danny Ware running in the 5th spot, signifying on his bumper. The 38 slides in front of Ed Robertson. Now we got to move back here. Adam Capps running with Dom DeLeo, 9th and 10th on the racetrack. DeLeo on the bottom, Capps on the outside. And Beckner, there he is in the 28 car, making his way through, looking for that top 10 spot. And just behind Dom DeLeo, that was Davey Hendricks in the 94, moving up on the number 4 of Dustin Carroll. So you see it all throughout the pack. The top groove is the groove you want to be in, so everybody running up there single file. Could see more drivers make their move down to the bottom during the race, but only time will tell. We got some side-by-side action. Oh, we got a spin in the back. It's Andrew Santos spinning on the front stretch. Multiple cars.
It says Scioli. I don't know why I said it. Santo at the 11 of Hassert. We'll see what
Joe Hassert.
Yeah.
And the number 6 of Santo. Just coming off a suspension from the last couple of weeks and not the run he's looking for tonight, as we're going to go to our want-to-go replay.
This is
so
not
that
the,
was the previous lap. Yep.
This is not the race you're looking for.
No, not in your return from a suspension.
Yeah.
So we'll see it up here. The 6 is spinning. The 11 of Joe Hassard in it as well. Another car involved. That might have been Ed Morris Sr. Could be wrong. So we see it up here. They're side by side in front of this 6. Oh, and the driver in front of him got
11.
into the wall.
That was Hassard. So Hassard gets into the wall. The 6 closing speed causing that.
And that might have been Ed Morris there on the bottom, getting through the grass, getting away from the action. So this was Joe Hassard on the outside. Just getting a little too much of that wall. We'll ride on board with AJ Roderick and see what he saw. Oh,
Wow.
got a piece of that wall too.
That lifted with a little bit of damage, nothing major though.
Yeah, it could have been worse. As he scoots by from that, so that brings out our first caution here on lap number. It was lap 10. The caution came out. We're on lap 11 now. Had some guys come down pit road. One of those being Cameron Hearn, another Dom DeLeo, Travis Beckner as well. Some guys taking advantage of the caution to put on a fresh set of Goodyear Eagles. So everyone in the top 14 has stayed out. Everyone behind has pitted.
Yep. Like you said, trying to see. So strategy already starting to come out with only 11 laps on their tires. Let's see what guys. Looks like fuel only for Beckner, DeLeo, Hearn, Forrest Smith, Rick Christensen, and Jose Ruiz. And then Carroll, Hudson, Kaneda, and Ed Morris Sr. all tires. Santo, Buds, AJ Roderick, and Ricky Harden all getting repairs.
Yeah, and the 11 of Joe Hassard has disconnected for the night, so his night comes to an early end, which is unfortunate to see. So he will be 29th in that field. Like you mentioned, some come down for tires, some for fuel, none of which hurt, although tires might hurt a little if we see more cautions come out. This goes on a green flag run. You got to think that those guys in the back that took tires are going to be set with a little bit of an advantage, so they'll only have 2 sets of tires left. As the pace car works its way around the racetrack, we want to thank Elite Entertainment for their coverage of tonight's race. I'd like to thank Elite Entertainment for their support of not only Area iRacing, but the Elite Entertainment Cup Series as well. Be sure to check out Elite Entertainment on Facebook and book them to DJ your next event. So Elite Entertainment got Rick Christensen, Travis Beckner, Cameron Hearn, and Adam Capps. Capps having a really solid run in the early stages of tonight's race, running P9. Beckner and Hearn made their way down pit road, and Rick Christensen also made his way down pit road, taking advantage of the early caution, regardless whether it's for fuel or for tires. Gotta take whatever you can get.
All right, so we do get an area, they get a choice, top or bottom. So Alan Elwood will get that choice, and Shane Thurin will get the opposite side, but only the front row.
Yeah, only the front row you'll have the choice of whether you're on the inside or the outside. And that's really dictated from the leader. So the leader can choose to restart from the bottom or the top, and then the second place car can restart in the other lane. Meanwhile, the rest of the field, it's all laid out. Mm-hmm. Odd numbers bottom, even numbers top.
Yes, sir. So you said you did go back and look at our One to Go Studios Facebook. You saw me on the choose spot.
Oh, yeah. Seemed like a popular place to be.
I had to explain to people what it was. There are people coming up going, what is this? And I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's how you know they're casuals.
Exactly.
They're in every sport. All right, so we'll see. The Elite Entertainment logo's still there, although they are having a solid run. Adam Capps going to restart 9th. Then you got Alan Elwood going to restart on the bottom. That's an interesting choice, although the front row are teammates, Alan Elwood and Shane Therian.
Well,
then you got Scioli, Robertson, and Danny Ware in the top 5. Go on.
Elwood actually, gets to jump. See, like there. And then I see him, once he crosses the stripe, he's going to come up.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And that allows his partner to stay in second. See, it works perfect. Like you had teammates. And they're in the same Discord, so they are speaking to one another. So
team orders.
Yeah.
Oh, contact. Ware and Robertson. Robertson in the wall. They made contact just before entering turn 3, and Robertson's car was stuck in the wall. He's losing quite a few spots now. That's going to allow more drivers to get around him. He's falling back to 7th, 8th as we speak. Bryce Senesac now looking low on the 64, going to clear up in front of him, but man, that was some close quarters racing, because we saw that Monday night with Jordan Martin and Delonte Ballard. They made contact as Martin was trying to get in line, and it just created a massive crash behind. So nearly another incident in the same spot as well. As we see from the fans' perspective, still got a couple drivers there on the bottom. That is Adam Capps and Carter Coop on the bottom, trying to work their way in line. It's kind of like Martinsville almost. You don't want to be in the other lane, otherwise you're going to go to the back.
To the back.
In this case, it's the outside. Martinsville, you don't want to be on the outside. Kansas, you want to be on the outside.
Yeah, didn't see a lot of damage on Ed Robertson's car, so hopefully it's just superficial, and he had to slow down to get back on the racetrack and not cause any issues. And because you see him pretty much staying right where he was put back to 8th, and he's staying there pretty much.
Adam Capps getting in line behind Garrett Grant for that 11th spot. Actually, no, he's still working on the bottom, so that's allowed the car behind him to move through. Colin Fambro in the 54. Cap's still trying to find his way in line. Carter Coop has found his way on the outside, but Cap's still trying to find that hole to fit in. Meanwhile, up front is still Alan Elwood leading, Shane Therian in second, Skylerly running in third, but these three have kind of checked out from fourth place Danny Ware, and that was because of the contact between he and Ed Robertson, but it's a half-second gap from third to fourth. We're riding in the car with Shane Therian. You can just get a glimpse of how close these drivers are running to the wall, trying to make sure they get as much momentum through the corners and on the corner exit as possible. You see the 38 getting closer to the bumper of the 49, but not pulling down to make a move. Towards the back, we saw pass for position, Seinfeld in the 5th, Thomas down to 6th. So he's kind of got a little breakaway there. Robertson in the back as well. Davey Hendricks going at it. Caution's out. Second caution of the race on lap 20. I'm going to look through and see, through our want-to-go replay, what exactly brought out this caution. And it looks like the car we'll be focusing on is the 4 of Dustin Carroll.
Not sure if this was the only incident I see, but we'll look. Maybe a self-spin, possibly.
So they're going to work their way through 3 and 4, so it might have occurred on the exit of turn 4 again. Maybe just got, drifting into the wall. Just losing control of it there, back into the wall and spinning on the front stretch. Don't believe anyone else was collected. So he kept his car high, everyone went low. So just a 1-car incident, the 4 of Dustin Carroll.
Yep. Significant damage on the number 4, Brian. And
now we'll see the leaders come down pit road. Oh, no, he faked him. Oh, man. That was a good deke. Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, good job from the Elwood guys switching some things up. Man. That's strategy there. Now you got a handful of guys that went down, a handful of guys that stayed out. So among those that did come down, we see James Scioli, Colin Fambro, Chris Seinfeld. See if we got any takers for tires. Would assume we got a good bit, but some guys did come down for fuel, and some guys came down for tires under the previous caution. So we might see a reversal. The guys that came down for fuel get tires, and vice versa.
Scioli looking like he's taken tires, Seidenfaden, Bryce Sinisak, and Garrett Grant.
So it looks like the top 9 have stayed out. The top 7 have yet to come down pit road during the race. Meanwhile, 8th and 9th, Charles Canita and AJ Roderick pitted when the first yellow came out. Both pitted for tires and possible damage repair as well. Lights are still on the pace car, so we'll have at least one more lap to go before we see those lights disappear. And like Harold mentioned, some guys coming in for tires, some guys coming in for fuel, and I believe Fambro, Hearn, and Beckner came in and did fuel. Although Fambro had a little more time. I believe it was only fuel for those 3.
Could have been a slide through maybe for Fambro.
Yeah, could have been.
So, anyway, you said we have what, 4 different strategies running around right now?
Yeah. So a lot to keep up with, Crew Chief Harold. What do you make of all this strategies?
Well, it's Kansas, so I would be getting fuel anytime I could.
Yeah, I don't believe Cameron Hearn took tires when he first came down pit road, so he's just topping off on fuel, which could be beneficial if we get a late caution. Could save a set of tires or 2. Got another car coming down pit road. Is that Beckner? That might be Beckner.
It is Travis Beckner, yep.
And now we see the lights go out on top of the pace car. Looks like Alan Elwood going to be on the bottom, Shane Therian on the top. That's what I see when I don't have my contacts in.
Yeah, trying to figure out which camera that is so I can fix it.
And the 4 of Dustin Carroll still on pit road. Not sure if he's going to repair the damage and come back out, or if he might be done for the night. Some drivers disconnect, some drivers do not, and they stay logged into the race. It looks like Beckner came down and took tires. 14.6 seconds for Travis Beckner. If this goes on a long green flag run, then that could be a saving grace. But we'll see the pace car make his way down pit road once again, with Alan Elwood being the leader, Shane Therian on the outside. And here we go, going through the gears once again at Kansas. That's Danny Ware on the bottom with a good run to see if he can clear the 38, and he will. So the 18 of Danny Ware moves into second place. Had a strong enough run on the bottom there from that previous restart, and slid up in front of the 38 of Shane Therian. Meanwhile, they're 2 and 3 wide in the back, and it looks like Ware's going to hold on to the spot. Had the 38 of Therian creeping low there through the tri-oval. Here's where all the battles are going on, though. No, that is not Jacob Bell. That is the 77 of Jordan Martin, running in the Jacob Bell paint scheme.
Yeah, he
He's got Cameron Hearn
it.
right behind him.
He stole it.
And just in front of him, you see the 7 of James Skyle, who came down pit road.
Just don't scratch it, Jordan. Don't scratch it.
Yeah.
As Hearn's pushing him.
Bump from Hearn, yeah. Bryce Senesek was looking to get in line there in the 09, but couldn't quite do that.
Cameron's just helping him.
This is back in the later part of the top 10 here. Riding on board with Carter Coop. Currently running in 8th. So he's got the 45 of Sci-Fi. Looking to slide up in front of him. The 09 of Bryce Senesek on the bottom. And that's The 54 of Colin Fambro trying to peek his nose in the middle. Going to make it 3 wide. Nope. Sticks it back on the outside. A little further up front, you see the 7 of Skyoli making moves to get back inside the top 5. In the meantime, Shane Therian has moved back into second place, but at what cost? Because Alan Elwood's got a 7-car length lead now over the field as we see the battles continue throughout the top 10 or so. There is our leader. Stretching it out now to 8-car lengths as, they are side by side behind him. Elwood's loving what he's seeing. Keep doing that, guys. I'll be out of your way. And look at that, the 7 of Skyoli with the fresh tires up to P2.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be watching the rest of these guys fall back now. Like side and Foden as well. Mm-hmm.
They're all taking advantage of the fresh tires and moving through the field. Now remember, those guys that did not pit, Therian, Danny Ware as well, those guys have not pitted yet. And they have a 22-lap disadvantage on their tires compared to guys like Skyoli, Seidenfeiden, Senesac that came down and pitted under the most recent caution. And we got pass for the lead now. As soon as we say that, 7 of Skyoli with the fresh tires, Alan Elwood with the top run being the most preferred line, and the 45 of Seidenfeiden looking to make it 3 wide down the front stretch as they head into turn 1.
Danger, danger.
Skyoli taking advantage of the fresh tires and taking advantage of the lead, snatching it from Alan Elwood. Give it to James Skyoli, last year's winner at Kansas, looking to make it 2 for 2 here. 45 of Seidenfeiden now going to look below the 49 of Elwood. Going to try and slide up in front of him before they get off turn 4, and that pass was clean.
Clean pass.
Now Senesac on the bumper of the 49, looking to make a move. Or might just, nope, he's making a move on the bottom, side by side. Meanwhile, these guys have checked out from 5th place driver Shane Therian, still on the older tires. Close racing now between Skyoli and Seidenfeiden. As Senesac gets around Elwood there for 3rd. .5 seconds back from Elwood and Therian. You see there a line of cars on the outside, some side-by-side action.
Ed Robertson moving up here past Carter Coop, and Mr. Adam Capps looking to do the same.
Yeah, very close racing. And it's from Shane Therian on back where we see this gaggle of cars. Some on the top, some on the bottom, in the middle.
You're saying, the guys that did well at Auto Club, this is a very similar racetrack.
Yeah, race is similar.
So, these guys see what they got. It's wide open track. Just, we're seeing here, unlike the Monday night race, we actually have multiple grooves working. Like actually working, not just trying to use the pass.
We missed the pass for the lead. Chris Seidenfeiden has taken over the lead from James Scarlett, but the gap is half a second now. So the 7 might have scraped the wall coming out one of the corners, because I can't see the 45 just doing that on just speed alone, because those guys came in and pitted on the same lap. So maybe the 7 got loose, might have scraped the wall. But nonetheless, 45 of Seidenfeiden putting down some hot ones here. Could that be the 7 just letting the 45 go, saying, hey,
Go ahead,
I'm going to conserve my tires. Yeah, burn it up.
Burn it up, man. We'll see you in a couple laps.
I'll catch up with you on the later run.
Cameron Hearn moving around. It looks like Caps, Davey, and all that.
Now the 45 is off the pace. The 7's going to look for the lead again. 45 might have gone into the wall there. So Scioli back in front, Seinfeld in second,
Caution.
Senesac in third. And there's our third caution of the race. Looking through, might have been the 6 of Andrew Santo. Nope, that is AJ Roderick in the 56.
Let's look and see what's going to happen here. A bunch of cars called in this, actually.
It was around in the 20th spot we're looking at.
Yeah,
Charles Canita behind, Santo in front.
Saw Roderick, Santo, Kaneda, Christensen.
That's that turn 4 again. Santo, Roderick. Whoa. Almost got driven underneath there. Believe that was look and see. Oh, did he get hit there? I think he got hit there.
Yeah, he got hit.
That was 19 of Rick Christensen that was almost driving underneath the 56. I did not see that. One car that might have been not Ed Robertson, excuse me, Ed Morris Sr. So here's the 56 spinning down in the grass, going through a bump. Fortunate that the 19 went through him there and not underneath of him. And then it looks like Ed Robertson. Yep.
Ed
Morris. Sorry. I don't know why I keep saying that. Just clipping him, nowhere to go. Tough break there for all those guys as we see the leaders come down pit road now. Dom DeLeo stayed out. And Ed Robertson actually got it right this time, staying out as well. Adam Capps, Travis Beckner, Garrett Grant, looks like Jacob Hudson as well. And then the next car will be Christopher Buds, but everyone else coming down pit road. Harold, how are you doing with all this strategy? My brain's already hurt now.
Well, I think it has evened it out a little bit. Like everybody's coming down for tires that all the 8 on back. So just the top 7 will be on a different pace, a different strategy here. So DeLeo, Robertson, Capps, Beckner, Grant, Hudson, and Buds all letting you stay out. Fuel and tires on that car 17 laps in. And then all the new drivers below them, look, Scioli leading that group, will have fresh rubbers and fuel. But the thing is we're not even halfway through this thing, and I think people have taken 2 sets already.
Some might have, and that will put them in a rough position if we get in the later runs of the race.
You know, one thing I did not know is I always thought that when the tires were taken off the cars, I knew about how they check the rubber and, you know, when they burn off the tacky part of the car, the tire to see what the wear was. I did not know that they actually take them to Goodyear right after that. So behind the pit boxes, all these guys are carrying the 4 tires on these little jacks that are specifically made for the tires, all the way back to the middle section where there's a 18-wheeler waiting for Goodyear to pick them back. At least the Cup Series. I didn't look really for Xfinity.
So we're under caution for the 3rd time, coming out on lap 36. This one for Santo in the wall, Roderick in the wall, then getting clipped by Ed Morris with Rick Christensen involved as well. So 3rd caution in 36 laps. Had some drivers stay out. So we're reading through Wagner making his way up through the field. Yep, he's going to restart 4th here this time by. He's no longer Travis Blinkner. Yep. He is Beckner now. He's got a new Ethernet cable. No more blinking for that number 28. And we could see him make some moves here on this next restart.
We'll see.
Because think about it. Amongst those drivers that have stayed out, they've got 19 laps on their tires. Beckner's got 2 less laps at 17 because the caution before, the 2nd caution, on the 1 to go, he came down and pitted for fresh tires, so that could be a little bit of an advantage for him. But it's also going to be an advantage for drivers 7th on back that did pit, including Chris Seidenfeiden. Number of drivers coming down using set of tires. Some their first set, some might have even been on their second set. We're only 41 laps in. So now Dom DeLeo choosing the bottom. Ed Robertson on the outside. Adam Capps, Travis Beckner, Garrett Grant rounding out the top 5 with Hudson, Seidenfeiden, Skyoli, Senesac, and Elwood rounding out the top 10. Pace car is going to make his way back on the pit road, and there is the jump you see from the 46 of Dom DeLeo as everyone shuffles through the gears once more. Boy, we're looking at 2 wide, maybe 3 wide there in the back. That outside lane did not get a good jump at all. They are 3 wide mid-pack. That is some tight racing. Now we see the 7 of Skyoli look through and getting the lead, trying to get the lead. Hasn't completed the pass just yet.
The tires, big difference on tires. 17 lap difference. Caution out.
Yep, might have been mid-pack-ish. They were running 3 wide right off the rip. So 4th caution here at Kansas on lap number 42. We'll take a look at our one to go replay once again. It was right around here because these guys on the outside lane did not get a good jump at all, and they were kind of all mumbo jumbo here. So we see that's the 45 of Seidenfeiden, and then you got the 94 of Hendricks. Might have happened right here in the middle of 3 and 4. Could be on the exit of turn 4 once again. Oh, there he is. He gets loose. Seidenfeiden does and just chases it, spins it out.
Self-spin, though. Nice way to stay out of everybody else's way.
I'll say, I don't think anyone else got involved in that.
But again, another victim of turn 4, though.
So another quick yellow here from Kansas. That is a new paint scheme. The Hulk, as you mentioned, Harold, on the car for Seidenfeiden, going for a spin.
Hulk mad he did not get to smash.
Only thing smashed were the blades of grass there by the virtual crew.
He was waiting to smash wall. He did not get his wish.
So we saw there how crucial the tires were. Dom DeLeo losing the lead in 1 lap to James Skyoli, who restarted. I believe he restarted 8th? 9th?
Something like that, yeah.
Because Seidenfeiden restarted 7th. Yeah. No, you restarted 8th, so it was probably Skyoli that restarted 7th. Because that bottom lane got an absolute jump from Dom DeLeo restarting on the bottom. The outside lane was all shuffled out. Mumbo jumbo from that restart, but back under caution, and we could see these guys come down pit road, those that did choose to stay out. So it'll be Dom DeLeo, Adam Capps, Garrett Grant possibly making their way down pit road. They stay out. Looking through, Ed Robertson, Travis Beckner might come down. Don't think they did. Nope, they did not. Back to the not 2020 vision me. Oh, Harold fixed it.
I just had
Shout
to
out.
I just had to get that camera again to fix it. One of the guys, just these cameras, he likes those out of focus shots. I don't get it. I mean, when they're under speed, sure, but
If I want an out of focus shot, all I gotta do is take off my glasses or my contacts.
Yeah,
Then everything's out of focus.
Out of focus. Just wait till you get older and you need to have the bifocals.
Oh no!
Otherwise, you can't read nothing.
At that point, I just have LASIK eye surgery.
That doesn't work for everything. I've had it done, and then you get old still. Your eyes stop working the way they're supposed to work, and whereas I had corrective surgery long time ago. And I need glasses now, so. But hey.
So the lights are out on the pace car, and it'll be James Skylerly choosing the outside with Dom DeLeo on the bottom. So we could see an absolute reversal here. I don't think we've seen anyone restart on the top this entire time.
Mm-hmm. So Scioli going to take the outside line and Miss Don DeLeo back in the same position he was earlier. But this time he has to wait for the 7 to fire off.
Yeah, that's the game changer there, because typically you think the first car on the bottom is the leader, but sometimes the leaders do choose the outside line to restart the race from. There's Rick Hot Sauce, number 7. Once again, restarting from the top with Dom DeLeo on the bottom. Then Garrett Grant, Adam Capps, and Ed Robertson rounding out the top 5. And then Elwood, Beckner, Therian, Thomas, and Senesac rounding out the top 10. Pace car makes his way back down pit road. The 7 leads the field on the outside for this restart as we shift through the gears once more at Kansas. Oh, DeLeo being split in the middle, 3 wide with, that is Shane Therian.
Alan Elwood was there too.
Yeah, Elwood right there in third, actually going up to second now, passing Garrett Grant. He's blinking though. Blinking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So the 49 car moves up to second, but is blinking. Boy, you can still see it. I'll have to see if the admins do something about that. In the admin tower, it is Eric Wineland and Brad Slaughter, and then looks like they got guest Ryan Hartz in there as well. That was Tuesday night's winner in the Truck Series.
So Dom DeLeo was issued a warning for maintaining speed coming to the green. They didn't penalize him, but they told him that he needs to not do that. So in the 45, potential lane change. They're looking at that right now.
Oh, intriguing. Okay. Those are from the admins, Brad Slaughter, Eric Wineland, and they got guest Ryan Hartz up there watching on.
Yeah.
It's a 38 car, fastest lap. Fastest car on the track right now, that 38.
Oh, 55 in the 46. Going through the grass. Adam Capps back out on the racetrack. No caution.
Oh, sorry there. Oh, you ever get those sneezing fits where you want to sneeze, but you can't? That's exactly what happened. But the 55 of Capps went through the grass. So far, no cautions come out for that. Ooh. Time to get back settled in as we look towards the back here with the 77 of Jordan Martin and Forrest Smith right behind, running 12th and 13th on the racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
Door to door as they go into turn 3. 77 almost clipping the wall there. Forrest Smith going to slide up in front of him. Meanwhile, you got Garrett Grant and Ricky Harden going for the 10th spot. Boy, we'll have to see if the admins say anything about Alan Elwood blinking, because it is happening quite periodically now, more than more than it has before. We just see his name flicker
Flicker.
the interval.
Yep. Yep.
Got nice battles here. 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th all going for the same spot. Actually, that's 11th on back. My apologies.
Yeah, 38 just taking the inside line, trying to see if we can get around Elwood and go chase down Scioli.
Yeah, so Elwood's still trying to fix his blinking issue. There you see from the 4th place driver, Bryce Senesac is on board at the leader, then Elwood blinking, and then Shane Therian. And then right behind him, you got Cameron Hearn running in 5th. Solid run. There's Elwood on the top, Therian on the bottom. Once again, still trying to find a way around Elwood. Boy, I am surprised that the admins have not said anything about the 49 blinking, because that's got to be a major concern, not only for teammate Therian behind, but Bryce Senesac as well, because Therian's at least running the bottom. Those other guys are running the outside. If he gets into the wall and just loses speed drastically and blinks back up in front of those guys on the outside, they got nowhere to go.
Nope, and nothing to warn them.
No. So the winner from Auto Club still having issues, as Cameron Hearn now looks to the outside of Bryce Senesac for that 4th spot, riding on board with Hearn as he works the top end his way around the 09. They'll complete the pass. Now Hearn will have his eyes set on Shane Therian. We know that 67 of Hearn has speed, but last few weeks has just been caught up in some bad luck with lap cars getting in the way. Really hoping that we can see that turn around and head home with a top 5 finish here tonight.
Rowdy checking in, and Henry Dirt talking about glasses, so he's old like me. He got bifocals.
I was just about to say he's got bifocals as well. James Skylerly continuing to lead his way through Kansas.
So Cameron Hearn, no, not doing too bad. Top 5 for him, as long as there's no lap cars right now. There aren't any. Well, there's Kaneda and Morris Senior, but other than that, we have 24 on the lead lap.
Yeah, but those guys, is that Morris still out there?
Yes, he's 74 miles an hour. Laps.
Huh. There he is. That was just him you saw on the bottom.
not going very fast though.
No, staying out of the way of the leaders. We just saw right there. He was that lone car there on the apron. Wide apron in turn 1 and 2. A little further back, the 09 of Senesac looking to be under attack here from the 94 of Davey Hendricks, having a solid run P6.
$23 laps on the front group of cars. Garrett Grant on 40, as well as Ed Robertson. So strange that those guys have been on the cars the longest and they're further back than I would have anticipated them being closer to the front.
And now here comes Cameron Hearn looking for third and possibly second. He's on the outside of Shane Therian as they roll into turn one. It's going to be tough to find his way through Alan Elwood. Looks like the blinking has stopped for the moment, but the Seven Skyoli continuing that lead pace. 1.3 seconds behind him is this battle for second now that's going on. Therian trying to get settled in. It's actually settled in quite a bit. Lost a little bit of ground there. Now the 67 on the bumper of the 49. I actually heard it from Bell Weishart Group and James Scaroli that the longer the runs go, and this is the longest run we've had so far in tonight's race, the tighter the car will be in the center of the corner and the looser it'll be on the exit. So could see that start to come into effect now with some of the drivers coming and going through the field based on how they have made the adjustments on their car. It is fixed setup, but you can make tire pressure adjustments and
Not
all
tire
that
pressure.
fun stuff. Oh, no tire pressure.
No.
Okay.
Oh, no. Fixed setup. Two things you could change: brake bias and steering ratio and steering offset. Three things. Sorry.
Okay.
So where the steering wheel lines up is one. How the pinion gear in the steering wheel. So how much degrees your turning causes the wheels to turn, and how much brake pressure to the front or the rear of the car. Other than
Looks
that,
like that's.
other than that, you're stuck with what they give you.
I was gonna say that looks like it's working the best for our leader James Scarley as we've approached our halfway rundown that's presented by Swift Lifestyles. Fans, be sure to visit our sponsor Swift Lifestyles for clean supplements that can help improve your focus and gaming. You can use the discount code on your screen, Area iRacing, AREA iRacing, for 15% off your entire order. We would once again like to give a big thanks to Swift Lifestyles for their continuous support of Area iRacing as the 7 of Scioli leads the way. He's got the fresher tires. Then the drivers behind him, that number 7 Rick's Hot Sauce Machine, rolling in steady. He led 105 laps here the last time we raced in the Lodgebox Series, led the most laps and won. He's looking to do the same thing here, although not quite going to be 100 laps. Might be a little shy of that if this thing goes green to the very end. But nonetheless, he's led now 30 laps. Or is that? Yep, there we go. 30 laps of the 68 that we have run so far. And you got to go back to Alan Elwood. He's had blinking issues, but he's got a pretty fast car. He's worked that number 49 inside the top 5. He's also... No, he didn't lead the same amount of laps. He's led 1 lap less than James Scioli. Now running in third is Cameron Hearn. Now, Cameron Hearn has had bad luck the previous 3 weeks as he runs in the number 3 spot. But he's got top 5 speed. He just needs those finishes, and he's hoping to finish this one out inside that top 5. As is Shane Therian. He's also got a pretty fast machine. He's found his way back inside the top 5, running in the 4th spot. Then in P5, Davey Hendricks. I haven't talked too much about him this season, and he's running inside the 5th spot there. Another Elwood Design driver. Got 3 of them running inside the top 5. Then you got Colin Fambro in the 54, having a solid run in the 6th position. Then right behind him, Bryce Senesac. He's had a pretty fast car. He's been inside the top 5 throughout some of the race, or some of the first half of this Twister 200. Looking to get a good finish there for Bell Weishart Esports as their driver, James Scarley, continues to lead. Ricky Harden in P8. Haven't talked too much about him tonight or throughout the Lodgebox season, but he's having a solid run so far, running in the 8th spot. Richard Thomas, the last driver, I believe, of the Elwood Design Group. Yep, running in the 9th spot, and he's got Danny Ware now to his inside, looking for that 9th spot. Both these guys having solid runs in the back part of this top 10, which is presented by Swift Lifestyles once again. Back up front, our leader, James Scarley, continuing to lead the way. Alan Elwood running in 2nd, Hearn 3rd, Therian and Hendricks still at the top. Top 5 has pretty much stayed the same. They're still swapping positions there. Actually, it looks like it's just wrapped up with Danny Ware moving into 9th, Richard Thomas down into 10th. Charles Canita has made his way onto pit road, or actually, yep, he's made his way onto pit road.
And looks like he's disconnected.
Huh. So that'll be our 4th driver to retire from tonight's event. Got 24 drivers on the lead lap, the last of which being Dom DeLeo. And Cameron Hearn's still looking to find a way to get around that 49 of Elwood. He's been on the bumper for quite some time, but just can't find a way to get around him. So we see the battle going on. Got quite a bit of space in between these drivers as the run has continued. Kind of like what we're seeing with the Cup race Monday night. The top groove is the groove you want to be in, and if you don't have anything on that middle or bottom, then you're stuck. Kind of what you see is what you get. So you got to run the top. Hope the driver in front of you makes a mistake.
I think Dom DeLeo is looking for a caution to get some of that damage repaired from the collision he had with Adam Caps's ride.
Yep, those guys find themselves back 23rd, 24th. Jacob Hudson, Andrew Santo in the group outside the top 20. Elwood starting to create more of a gap now between he and Cameron Hearn as we complete 75 laps now of the scheduled 130 in the Twister 200, the 6th race of the season for the Lodgebox Series. I'm going to ride on board with Cameron Hearn, see if he can reel him back in. The gap has now grown to almost 2 seconds between Skyoli and Elwood. Elwood had blinking issues during the first half of the race, but now it looks like things have calmed down, and he's going to try and reel in that 7. It's a gap down to 1.8. We got Robertson and DeLeo pitting now. Looking through here, our fastest lap of the race was Chris Steinfein at a 31.418. And looking through the previous time as these guys are coming across the stripe, we're seeing lap times in the 33 1s, 33 0s, 33 2s. So there's almost a 2-second difference in lap time from these drivers. And that just shows you how much the tires wear here. And the cars are getting looser and looser as they're losing grip in the track. And obviously, DeLeo and Robertson could not make it as far as they could with their current run on the tires. So look at here, 57 laps now for Garrett Grant. It's going to be 56 as now we got Adam Capps coming down pit road, Jacob Hudson, Shane Therian down pit road. I think we're going to see the window open for green flag pit stops.
Got Garrett Grant on 58 laps currently. Let's see what he can get in.
is a lap car of Ed Morris Sr., 22 laps down, running in the 25th spot. If you're Cameron Hearn, don't look on the bottom. Just keep your foot in on the top. don't pay attention to that guy down there. Oh, we got another car making their way down pit road.
Grant coming down. So 49 was the max so far that we've seen.
Oh, 59.
59?
Yeah.
Yes, 59.
Close to 60. Could just be the guys wanting tires, just saying, okay, I can't do this anymore. And Cameron Hearn now down pit road. So he's saying, well, I'm not. I see a lap car in front of me. I am not going around him. I'm just going to pit Danny Ware, Ricky Harden, Richard Thomas. All these guys are coming down pit road now. The door has officially opened. If you pit now, you can make it to the end.
That's it. They can make it to the end.
Now, Harold, if you're a crew chief of Alan Elwood, what would you tell him to do as far as pit strategy? Do you try and undercut the 7 and pit early?
I'm looking at splitting the difference. So looks like I come in anytime now because that's what remaining is about 45 if he comes down. So because I want the driver to get the most out of the tires I give him. So putting extra laps on the tires now doesn't do any good.
Well, speak of the devil, he took your advice, Harold. He's coming down pit road now. Right on cue, crew chief Harold.
Yeah, I was trying to meet Larry McReynolds. I just didn't get a chance to talk to him. Seeing if I could take his place. If he needed me at the cutaway car, but.
Could be like NBC and be on top of the virtual pit. Well, not virtual. It could be on top of the NBC pit box.
Because I was pretty impressed with how all the boxes open up and stuff. It's pretty cool. All the engineering that goes into using every inch of everything that they have to take out there with them.
So the 7 of Skyoli continuing to log laps here. Now, the one thing that will benefit him is the longer he stays out. Whenever he does eventually come in, he will have to change tires, obviously, but his tires will be fresher than those that have pitted. So Colin Fambro has worked his way on the pit road now.
But he's losing a lot of time right now.
Yeah, that is the one downside of this. He's losing time. So the drivers are coming in, getting their fresh rubber on now. Forrest Smith down pit road as well. Boy, it's like we're at Dover
laps,
all
right?
over again. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like we're at Dover all over again. Got 5 cars on the lead lap.
Mm-hmm.
The last of which being Andrew Santo, and he's looking to go a lap down with the 7 of Skyoli behind him. And there's one of the guys that took tires, Davey Hendricks, fastest lap on the track.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Senesac down pit road. The 7 of James Skyoli going to come down as well, as you see the drivers behind him rage on by with their fresh set of tires. Could see another lap led by the 23 of Jose Ruiz. So he's going to stay out. Don't think he'll lead the lap. He will not, but he'll be the leader. If he stays out the next time by, he'll have a lap led. And it looks like he'll be staying out, so Jose Ruiz, one of the newer drivers in the area, as we see some smoke on the track, going to lead another lap. Solid showing in that 23 car.
Him and Carter Coop have to come down in the next 5 or 6 laps. Then you got Andrew Santo, who's got 45 laps on his tires. He'll have about another 15 or so at the max. And look at all these guys passing the race leader to get back on the lead lap.
Got lap traffic on the outside and on the bottom. Well, not lap traffic, but slower cars on the outside and the bottom there. So once this cycles through, Shane Therian's going to be the leader. Cameron Hearn second. Elwood, Hendricks, and James Skywley going to round out the top 5 once these guys cycle through. You mentioned these guys going to have to come down pit road soon. 54 laps on the current run for Ruiz, 52 for the 52 of Carter Coop. Looking back to see if Scioli can make up the ground that he lost on Shane Therian, because once those front 2 cycle through and come down pit road, Therian will be the leader, and it's about a 7-second gap between the 38 and the 7. You know, what if a caution comes out before these front 2 pit? Oh, that will change some things if that is the case. It happened at Dover. Could happen here.
It will trap those guys that are a lap down, considering the fact that we've got Elwood and Hearn and them on the lead lap, so they're not going to come back down. Santo coming in.
So the 6 car coming down pit road. Boy, Jose Ruiz continuing to log in laps as the leader. See, these guys will have the freshest set of tires than anyone in the field, but at the cost that they're willing to make, possibly being 2 laps down after their pit stops. The gap is now 5 seconds between Jose Ruiz and Carter Coop. The 38 of Therian closes in on the 52 with his fresher set of
I
tires.
think Carter Cruz will be coming down pit lane here.
Yep. Carter Coop down pit road. So Jose Ruiz staying out once again. He's nearing 60 laps on his stint. Looked like that was 57 for the 52 of Carter Coop. Going to be 59 once the 23 car comes across the stripe. Boy, the gap between the... Oh, we had a pass for second. It's Cameron Hearn now that takes over the spot from Shane Therian. So Therian down the third. And that would be the pass for the lead if the 23 comes down pit road. There could be a caution that comes out between now and whenever he does decide to come down pit road. But for the moment, that is second, and that belongs to the 67 of Cameron Hearn. I was just going to say the 7 of Scioli has closed down the gap quite a bit between he and then Shane Therian, because Therian would have been in the spot for the lead had the field cycled through. But now it is Cameron Hearn. I was going to say the gap has closed down between the 7 and the 38 from 7 seconds. Well, now all the way down to about second and a half if we're going after 38. But with presumed to be race leader Cameron Hearn after the 23 car comes down pit road, looking at that gap to be a little over 2 seconds. So 2 seconds separating Hearn, Elwood, Therian, and Scioli. Going to be an interesting one down to the wire. Actually, it looks like Elwood has taken over third now from Therian. So Therian and Scioli running fourth and fifth. And now we see the 23 of Jose Ruiz on the bottom, looking to come down pit road. 61 laps that 23 car went on his run. So that will give the lead to Cameron Hearn, who's got the 49 of Alan Elwood on his bumper. 1.2 seconds back is the 38 of Therian, and 1.5 seconds back is the 7 of Scioli as they work their way to the lap car of Andrew Santo.
Looking at that lap traffic could become an issue here. I know if you're in 67 to Cameron Hearn, you don't like seeing lap traffic. Like, which way are they going to go?
One of the drivers he had an issue with the lap traffic was Andrew Santo. Oh, he might be leaving a little too much bottom open. We could see a side-by-side battle down the backstretch, and we do. Elwood on the bottom, Hearn on the outside. Got to think that the run would go to Hearn on the outside of 3 and 4. The 49 going to try and send it to make it stick on the bottom. They're dead even as they come off turn 4, but the run too strong for Alan Elwood. Cameron Hearn brings that machine back into the lead. Scioli has passed Shane Therian in the meantime for third, and now he's trying to join in on this group battling for the lead.
It's like Chris Seidenfeiden has disconnected manually.
Yep, that 45 is down pit road. Look like he'll finish 24th or 25th if Ed Morse can continue to put the laps down and possibly pass him. Well, now we got a 3-car battle here for the victory. Seems like it was, it seemed like Monday night too, where we had a 3-car battle for the win, and it seemed like Cameron Hearn was a part of that as well. Mm-hmm. It was Jake Nichols ended up taking the victory. Now we see the 7 of James Scioli looking to get around the 49 of Alan Elwood, trying to get a run down on the bottom, and it looks like he's got a nose down there. That 7 car's got some speed. He's got 4 lap fresher tires than Alan Elwood and 6 lap fresher tires than the 67 to Cameron Hearn. He's looking to put that to good use as he's underneath the 49 for a second and now trying to get underneath the 67 of Cameron Hearn for the lead. They're side by side going down the backstretch and now into turn 3. So you see the outside lane just too strong for the 7 to overcome. Still going to have a run, but it's not going to be enough to clear himself in front of the 67. Elwood looking to give the 67 of Hearn a momentum push going into turn 1. 67 sliding up a bit high. The 7 on the bomb going to try and slide up in front of Cameron Hearn, and he will do that. Completes the pass. Put the 7 of James Scioli into the lead, but not for long. Here comes the 67 of Cameron Hearn looking to send it down on the bomb. That's a Louisiana dive bomb, and the 7 of Scioli looking to cross him over off turn 4. It's a bit early for a Louisiana dive bomb, but that's what Cameron Hearn tried to do, and he lost second. Going to put Alan Elwood now into the P2 position. And Cameron Hearn down into third.
Andrew Santo back out of pit lane with fresher tires, doing battle with the top 3.
Yep, right behind his good buddy Cameron Hearn. Second is Elwood, but up front, that 7 of James Scioli has fresher tires than those front 3. Gotta think that Hearn knew that as soon as the 7 got clear from him, that would be it. But he had a run, went down to the bomb, had a Louisiana dive bomb, used it a little too early. Typically see those at the very end. But for those that are new, the Louisiana dive bomb is a term for a big send. We saw that just a few moments ago with Cameron Hearn, had a big send because he knew that 7 car had fresher tires than him. Trying to get back in front of him, but the 7 crossed him over. That was James Scioli. Now he's got a half-second lead between himself and Alan Elwood.
The Louisiana dive bomb, or the slide job as we call it, is usually a dirt track type of thing, but you can do it here if you can get away with it. It's like, works a lot better.
Yeah.
It works a heck of a lot better in the dirt, and it's also more utilized in the dirt because you basically, like you said, you put it in the corner without really breaking it all, and just hope to slide across the nose of your competitor to the outside and force them to take evasive action and take the lead.
Yeah, I think a good example of a Louisiana dive bomb in real life at this track had to be Carl Edwards back in 2008 with Jimmy Johnson. Just absolutely sent it down in there, but could not make it work as he just got into the wall. That is probably as best of a explanation for a Louisiana dive bomb as can be, as the 23 of Jose Ruiz works his way around the 7 of James Kyrley, looking to get one of his laps back. Actually, his only lap back. He's back on the lead lap now. Ed Morris down on the bottom. 7 car lengths between Scioli and Elwood, and then third place Cameron Hearn. Boy, even if Cameron Hearn doesn't win, I mean, third place, solid effort after the past 3 weeks that he's had. He'll take it. Therian and Hendricks rounding out the top 5. As we got 16 drivers on the lead lap. So last of which now, Rick Christensen just got passed by Jose Ruiz and the fresher tires he's got on that number 23. Christensen looking to be the first driver a lap down in just a moment as the 7 continues to work his way around, as Hearn actually got in the wall that time in turn 2. You saw on the top of your screen there, just rode the turn 2 wall. 1 second now separating the 7 and the 49. Don't think that'll hurt the 67 too much there. That is Carter Coop behind the 67 of Cameron Hearn. Second car 1 lap down now, as Rick Christensen just been passed by the 7 of Scioli. Less than 20 laps to go here in our Twister 200 for race 6 of the Lodgebox series, which is presented to you by CNC Logging. We would like to thank CNC Logging for their support of the CNC Logging Truck Series this season in the area. Located in Boiling Springs, South Carolina, CNC Logging is your place to go for any of your logging needs. Got wood? Big or small, summer or fall, we'll cut your log, guaranteed. CNC Logging. With their driver Cameron Hearn right now running in third. Solid night after the past few weeks, as we mentioned, that he's had. Was in the lead, but falling back to third, settling in. Might have kissed the wall a little bit, but he's still keeping up. Hasn't affected the car too much. Then the other CNC Logging car, got to be Cameron, other than Cameron Hearn, sorry, Travis Beckner, running in the 12th spot. Solid run. He is no longer Travis Blinkner, as his nickname, as he was blinking in and out of some of the area races, and he's got a new Ethernet cable, so that will stop the blinking from happening. I'm going to ask you to put the crew chief hat back on and give you a scenario. So say there's a caution that comes out between now and 2 laps to go. If you're any one of these guys, do you pit if you have any sets of tires left? Or do you just stay out and stick it to the end?
If I'm in the top 5, it's going to be hard to make that decision. Anybody further back than that, I've got a set of tires and putting them on. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
If Scioli comes down, then people are going to stay out. It's going to be Scioli's going to be in a bad spot.
Yeah, it's reminds me of time back in Xbox racing with Ryan Hartz, where there was the term Operation Ponka, in which the person's name was Ponka, and the way that term came to be, everyone did the opposite of what he did. So if he stayed out, everyone came down pit road and got tires, and that's where the phrase Operation Ponka came in. So it looks like if we get a late caution, then that could happen. So if the 7 comes down and pits, everyone does the opposite, stays out. Or if the 7 stays out, everyone comes in and pits. Right now, he's continuing to log laps, and I believe he will have the most laps led. So we're approaching 10 laps to go here. That 7 car, last year he led 105 laps of the 130. It's going to be a lot less than 105, but still going to be enough. Might be enough to clinch that most laps led. Remember, that is a bonus point if you lead the most laps of the race. And if you put your channel points, like I did, on the 7 Skyline, you're sitting pretty comfortable right now. Boy, I'm looking through. David Weishart put 100. He had all the confidence in the world in that number 7, and so far it's looking like it might pay off. Carter Coop as well, putting 100 points down on the 7. Oh, caution, we got spin on the bottom, so hold on to everything, folks. This could change the outcome of the race. It's a 55 of Adam Cass. We'll take a look at our 1 to go replay and look at what brought out our most recent caution. Crapes the turn 2 wall and just couldn't quite save it coming out of the turn as it just kept spinning left, right. Interesting caution that one is. As this will bunch the field back up, so forget everything I just said about channel points and the 7, because now the 49 of Alan Elwood, the 67 of Cameron Hearn, even the 38 of Shane Theron, and the 94 of Davey Hendricks, all these guys are going to come down pit road. They're going to have a chance at possibly beating the 7. We see he will stay out. The 49 of Elwood will come down and pit. Cameron Hearn down as well. Therian, Hendricks, there you go. Well, no, it was almost Operation Ponka. Bryce Senesac staying out. But everybody else coming down pit road. Man, this is a this is a tough situation. If you're the 7 or the 09, you're the only 2 that stayed out. Everybody else came down pit road. Going to be a race off pit road here. Cameron Hearn wins it, beating out the 49 of Alan Elwood. I think he might have taken 2 tires there to get in front of that 49.
Cameron Hearn, 2-tire stop.
Yep. He undercuts the field while undercutting the leaders. So after a caution brought out by the 55 of Adam Caps, we're going to go ahead and bunch these guys back up with less than 10 laps to go. And Harold, I kind of said it, and you kind of said your piece too. If a caution came out within the last 15 laps, it'll be everybody that does the opposite of what the leader does. Almost worked. Bryce Senesac stayed out as well.
Bryce Senesac was outside the top 10, though.
Yeah.
It was pretty much exactly what happened.
Almost an Operation Ponka in which everyone does the opposite of the leader. I gotta remember those 2 are teammates, the 7 and the 09, so could be a little strategy in there. Like, say, I'm going to try and predict the restarts. So the 7 will line up on the bottom, the 09 on the outside. Because then I'll put the 67 of Hearn on the bottom with 2 tires. The 49 of Elwood with 4 tires on the outside. Could be what happens. That's just the way I see it. I'm just predicting that. Looking through here, I believe Rick Christensen got his lap back. He was the
Correct.
first driver one lap down.
Yep, he did.
Oof. All right, so this is going to be an interesting finish. Could be another one of those cautions, breed cautions, or we could have a green flag run to the finish. Just know that the intensity and the aggressiveness will for surely go up. I just realized I said for surely. I don't think that's ever been said in a sentence ever until now. And it looks like I predicted exactly what would happen. The 7 of Scioli going to restart on the bottom, it looks like. The 09 of Senesac on the outside. Those two stayed out. Everyone behind came down pit road. The first of which off pit road was Cameron Hearn in the 67. He'll restart third, but he's got 2 tires. 2 fresh set of tires, I should say. Got 2 old ones, got 2 new ones.
Inside tires. But if anybody could make that work, it would be Cameron.
Oh, absolutely. And the first of which on 4 new sets of tires is the 49 of Alan Elwood.
We do have 1 green-white checker if it is needed. But this is going to be a 6. Yeah, I saw that already. 6 lap shootout, basically, or 7 lap shootout.
7 lap shot. I'm looking at David Weissart. Stop the race here. Worst bad beat of the season. Well, you never know. Still got 7 laps here. Skyerly on the bottom, Senesac on the outside. Going to restart the race one more time here at Kansas.
7 gives a good jump. 67's with him.
Boy, the 49 trying to get around that 09 who's also on older tires. Here comes Cameron Hearn, though, on the bottom with 2 tires. Shane Therian in third, Elwood in fourth, and then Davey Hendricks in fifth. They're side by side, though, for the lead as the Elwood guys are down near the apron. Cameron Hearn on the bottom. The 7, you can just see how slow he is on the older tires. Cameron Hearn into the lead. Shane Therian in second. Oh, they're making contact in the back. They're going to go 3 wide down in the back. 4th, 5th, and 6th, all 3 wide. As Shane Therian now closes in on Cameron Hearn, he has 2 newer tires that Cameron Hearn does not have. It will be 5 to go when these guys come back across the stripe. Therian going to try and use the bottom to get around the 67. Elwood and Hendricks on the top. Meanwhile, Fambro on the bottom as well, trying to get in the mix of this. 5 to go for that 67.
5 to go.
Alan Elwood, a man on a mission, fastest lap of the race. Looking to get around his teammate Shane Therian for second. Going to nearly make contact. He's going to go down below the 38 on the backstretch and going to try and get a run here and slide up in front of him. Oh, it's going to be a big run underneath the 67. Oh, he's going to try and get tucked in. Can't quite do it. They'll still be side by side for second, and that's all Cameron Hearn wants to see.
Yeah, they keep battling in his rearview mirror. Camera's going to keep looking out the front window.
Oh, he got close there on corner exit. He's going to come down low, try and block Elwood. Now he's going to go up outside, try and get that run. Protect the top. Top is the preferred groove here. Elwood trying to use all he's got in those 4 fresh set of tires. 3 laps to go now.
They're mounting a couple charges. Doesn't look like he got anything for Hearn. Hearn's really working the wheel to ensure nobody gets a run on him. Right now, the 38's in a good spot to take him off this corner with 3 to go.
Yep, he could be setting up for a late pass in a turn 3, or he might be setting up for a pass right now. He's got to run on the bottom, side by side, down the front stretch. 2 laps to go here at Kansas. Shane Therian's got a little run down on the bottom. Davey Hendricks right behind Cameron Hearn as they head off into turn 1. Oh, Therian's going to have a run. He's going to have a chance to slide up in front of the 67, and he will. Shane Therian to the lead with less than 2 to go here at Kansas. Hearn on the bottom. He's leaving that top open for Hendricks. Now here comes Fambro on the bottom. Cameron Hearn with a dive bomb to the inside. He's going to slide up in front of Therian. They make contact.
Oh,
There goes
no.
Theory around. Cameron Hurd around as well. They're spinning all over the grass as they come across the stripe. White flag is in the air one final time around Kansas. We did not get the caution. The white flag came out, and now we got Alan Elwood in the lead after contact was made in turn 4.
Started with Fambro on the bottom, up into Therian, into Cameron Hearn.
They worked their way through 3 and 4 for the final time, and in controversial fashion, Elwood in the wall. Can Hendricks have a run? Davey Hendricks on the bottom. He's going to steal it here in Kansas. What an unbelievable finish that we just saw coming to the white flag and coming to the checkered flag. It all happened in the same corner, and it works out in the end for Davey Hendricks, stealing one here at Kansas.
I don't think anybody picked Davey, did they?
Wow, I don't think anyone did either, but man, he stole one there at the very end. Oh, what a finish. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Elwood hitting that wall slowed him down enough for Hendricks to have the run.
Boy, you saw it Tuesday night and you saw it tonight. Last lap pass coming out of turn 4. Both in different fashions.
These are all Alan Elwood Esports affiliated drivers.
Yeah, gotta think about it from a team standing, because there's been a couple of times this season where the Elwood Designs Esports guys finish 1-2. Now that for the championship standings and the team standings, that's the max points you can get. So Davey Hendricks is a part of that group as well, and Elwood finishing second. So once again, these guys getting max points for the team standings. Wow. Well, we'll go ahead and get our race winner up here in the booth. It's Davey Hendricks stealing one here at Kansas. Davey, this is Hunter and Harold in the booth. Got a copy?
I do.
Man, forget about everything that happened earlier. The 120 laps or so, forget that. The last 2 laps is the most important laps that we saw. We saw contact made not only once, but twice within the last 2 laps, coming to the white and then coming to the checkered. What was your viewpoint through all that?
Honestly, terror. We knew that Cameron might have only had 2 tires. And when he sent it into the corner, I knew that there was no way he's going to keep that speed up. So I knew Mean Shane had to duck low. But I also heard Colin to my left. I didn't think they would all collide in a massive crash at the last second. But I'll take it. And when you say I stole one, you're not joking.
No, not at all. We saw it happen. The next corner was just about to give the win to Alan Elwood right then and there, but he got in the wall on turn 4, and it hindered him in qualifying, and it got to him at the very end of the race. What was that like, coming off turn 4 and then seeing an opening right there at the very end?
I had to make sure my mic wasn't on because I was screaming. I'm sure my wife thinks I'm crazy at this point. But I mean, Alan, ran a great race, led the most laps, or either him or Scaoli did. I just lucked out at the end that, he just tagged the wall just enough to upset the car, and I just went around him.
Man, yeah, talk about a chaotic finish. Harold, anything for our race winner?
Davey, I mean, like you said, now my big question is, if Elwood wasn't a teammate, do you think he would have let you take it like that, or he would have kind of rode you down to the line there?
I think if he wasn't a teammate, he would have turned left immediately
Exactly.
to make sure I couldn't get past him. The only reason he didn't is because he is my team owner, and I don't think he wants to pay for 2 cars to be fixed.
Well, yeah, it does. This finish has got me all discombobulated. It does make sense why he didn't come down, while again, it doesn't make sense because you got to think about it from a team standing. A couple of times this has happened where the Elwood Design Esports Group, they finish 1-2, and that's the max amount of points you can get because it goes by the first 2 cars in the owners' standings. I'm still discombobulated. So the front 2 cars in that team group will get team points. And you guys have finished 1-2 3 times this year, I believe. So that's the max amount of points you could get, and that I do see why the 49 of Elwood did not come down and immediately block, because it caught me off guard. But this whole finish caught me off guard. You wound up stealing it. You led for like maybe 500 feet.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you'll take it. Any shots you want to give out before you go?
Everyone on the team, Alan, Danny, Eric, Brad, Ricky, AJ, Shane, we all have we have a good group. We enjoy racing with one another. I feel like we have a lot of stress to do well, to try and defend championships from last year. So I like that we can joke around and still enjoy ourselves for the most part. All of our sponsor, Elwood Designs, for being the namesake for the team, Reaper Speed Labs for coming on this year, High Banks Podcast for being on my car. Appreciate them for letting me sport their colors and put them on broadcast for a bit. Roderick Racing Development. And I think that's everything we got.
Well, for the third straight week in a row, no one picked the winner. For a good bit of people had Hearn, Elwood, Scioli. There was a lot of channel points on Scioli, but third straight week in a row, no one picked the race winner, and that was Davey Hendricks. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, man.
All right, that was your race winner, Davey Hendricks. Now this one's going to be tough to interview, but second place finisher Alan Elwood coming home second. So we see, the camera's a little bit wonky there, Harold, but nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think he might have changed it. Alan, did you mess with your camera?
Yeah, I had to end up turning it off.
Okay, that's
so
why.
Apologies for that.
You're facing up.
Yeah, like halfway through the race when they were telling me I was blinking, I was like, "Well, my camera's on, so I think I need to probably try to shut that off."
That I was gonna say that could be a reason why. Kind of talk about that finish, man. There was chaos coming to the white flag and then coming to the checkered flag. Just nicked the wall there coming out of turn 4. Gotta be a tough one to swallow, but I'm gonna use Harold's question that he had for Davey. If Davey was not a teammate, would you have made that abrupt move down to the bottom and try and block him?
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
So
I think it'd have been a lot different. It'd have been another color underneath there.
I mean, points are important. So that's all I could say. You got to do what you got to do. So, would I change anything? Probably not.
I was gonna say, I think this is the third time this year where you guys have finished 1-2. In the race, and that's the max amount of points you can get for the team championship. So I do see that from a standpoint, maximizing the team championship, which you guys, by the way, running away with it for the Lodgebox side of things. Harold, anything else to add for Alan?
Well, I said, your other driver of Eric Wineland, he's been sharing this camera a lot, and both of you guys seem to be very comfortable in the seat, very little movement on the wheel. Is that something you guys practiced at these bigger tracks, like low inputs into there to save the tires?
Yeah, I mean, you guys know that you just can't use a whole lot of wheel. You got to save the tires in this car, because I think this car is the most crucial with the tires, without the downforce. So you have to save the tires, especially that right front. And a track like this, it's I don't know, it might not hurt you as much because you're running that high line and really nobody can make the bottom work unless you're on fresh tires. So I was trying to save a little bit early on, but as the race went on, I realized, people didn't really have that same idea. So I just tried to start pushing, and we got really fortunate with that caution coming out, because we tried to play the extra set game, which ended up working out. So I was really happy about that. But that coming to white flag was just chaos. I just went for a spot. I was like, I think they're all going to go low, so I'm just going to go high and try to pass them all. And I don't even know what happened there. It was just insane to see, but crazy finish.
Yeah, crazy finish. And even though an Elwood driver, Therian, was caught up in that, still a 1-2 finish for the Elwood boys. You being number 2, Hendricks number 1. Still solid day all around. Those cars had some speed. And any shots you want to give out before you go?
Yeah, just real quick. Thanks, sponsors. High Banks Podcast, Reaper Speed Lab, Roderick Racing Development, Heatwave Designs, Life of a Sim Racer, Rhino USA. We got a bunch of them now. Appreciate all these fine people coming on board for the team. Kudos to Davey, to Danny, to Shane. 1 through 4 tonight for the entire team is awesome. Really happy that Davey got to win. But yeah, you guys up here in the booth for calling the race tonight. Everybody in the admin, being here and yeah, I just can't get over that finish.
Yeah, I'm about to go back and rewatch that. That was just nuts. Congrats on the second place finish though, and the 1-2 for the team.
Appreciate it, guys.
That was Alan Elwood, P2. And in the midst of all that chaos, Danny Ware came home third in that crazy finish. Hunter Harold in the booth. Got a copy?
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy. I got to ask, what was the finish like from your perspective? You got cars spinning all around you, coming to the white, and then the leader getting into the wall in the last corner. Had to be a roller coaster of emotions for that number 18.
Yeah, I just kind of watch everything play out. I had nothing for them, so I don't know, just kind of sat and basically watched a movie happen in front of me. Just everybody wrecking everywhere, and it just worked out.
Yeah, so we saw the top being used quite a lot, but towards the end, obviously, you had to make some different moves there on the bottom. Was the bottom groove working at all for you, or would you just majority the top for the race?
The bottom groove would work like for the first lap, just like on a restart with cold tires, but then after that it was just basically run the top groove. The only reason you could run the bottom is if you're just going to slide job somebody, but yeah, it was mainly top groove the whole race.
Alrighty, Harold, any questions for Danny?
Well, Danny, that you got that green going on. I think it's for camouflage because usually you're red and black. You and Brad Slaughter trying to mess us up.
Oh yeah, we're green today. I like to thank Rhino USA for sponsoring me, so it's pretty good. They sponsor the whole team, so I've been supporting green the past couple of races.
No, it's like me and Ken had mentioned something about that. Like where did Danny go? I'm like, he's in a green car. Good for you guys. They did a good job, and we saw Scioli stay out. I mean, were you guys surprised at that?
No, because we all saved tires, so we decided not to pit on one of the stops. So we were just banking on the last set of tires for a caution at the end, and it ended up working. So he didn't have any tires at the end, and that's what we were kind of hoping for a caution. We didn't think we were going to get it, but I think it was 10 to go. It came out, and we basically got lucky in that situation.
All right.
Yeah, that entire finish was just nuts. You came home third. Congrats on the third place finish. Any other shots you want to give out before you go?
Oh, well, I'd like to thank all the guys on the team. I'd like to thank Alan, Ella Designs, High Bank Podcast, Reaper Speed Lab, Roderick Racing Development, basically everybody that helps out, you guys in the booth, Jacob for putting it on, and Rhino USA for sponsoring me.
Alrighty, we'll let you go. Congrats on the third place finish after a wacky one here at Kansas.
Thank you, guys.
That was third place finisher Danny Ware, and we'll get the rest of the finishing results right here for the Twister 200. It looked like a Twister coming to the white flag with those cars spinning around and around. Davey Hendricks stole the win from Alan Elwood, finishing second. Danny Ware third. Garrett Grant, Shane Therian actually did not spin. That was Bryce Senesac in the 09 that went for a spin, rounding out the top five. Colin Fambro, Ricky Harden, Richard Thomas, Jordan Martin, and Travis Beckner coming home with an impressive top 10 run.
And 11th was Forrest Smith, Jose Ruiz, Rick Christensen, Scioli faces 14th, Senesac in 15th. Then a lap down, Dominic DeLeo, Ed Robertson, Christopher Buds, Carter Coop, and then 2 laps down, Cameron Hearn.
Boy, another rough one there for Cameron Hearn. This time it wasn't lap traffic; he was just going for the win, and he was caught up in it once again. Man, tough break there for Cameron. They're gonna come. The good finishes will come for Cameron Hearn. Don't worry, Hearn fan club; they'll be there. Adam Capps, Andrew Santo, Jacob Hudson, Ed Morris Sr., Chris Seinfeld, Charles Canida, AJ Roderick, Dustin Carroll, and Joe Hassert, rounding out the rest of the field. Now to the Elwood Design race recap presented by Elwood Design. Davey Hendricks, an Elwood Design driver, led for about 500 feet, won the race, had 5 cautions for 20 laps, with that one coming out at the very end within the last 15 laps that set up the chaotic finish. Alan Elwood, fastest lap, 31.239. Whew. Harold, any final thoughts before we wrap it up here?
Oh, been good racing all week here at Kansas. Had each series came up with a spectacular finish. Just need to continue working on getting the caution counts to come down. Drivers are getting used to one another. We're heading to Darlington next week for our throwback system, and I believe the Area 500, or basically the area's version of the Southern Five, will be sponsored by Butt Kicker on Monday night.
Yep, Butt Kicker going to sponsor the throwback race for the Cup Series. That's going to be Monday night. Tuesday night, CNC Logging Truck Series will be taken to Darlington. And then a week from tonight, the Lodgebox Series will also be going to Darlington. So all three series at Darlington, all starting at 8:40 Eastern on the Area iRacing Twitch channel. That'll do it from us here in the booth. To executive producer Harold Donner, I'm Hunter Sleppy saying so long, and we'll see you for Throwback Week.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.